in today's video, I'm gonna show you how to live stream to YouTube like a pro using your phone. So what I mean is with multiple scenes. So basically it's like having OBS on your phone. We're talking about starting soon scene, countdown timer, lower thirds graphics, scrolling text, chat widget on screen, ending soon scene, background music, and so much more. And of course, we're gonna be using an application called Prism Live, the mobile version. So let's not take much time, let's get right into it. What's going on, guys? My name is Sam. You're watching live production tips and tools helping you master live streaming. So right now I have Prism Live open on my phone. Again, it's available on both iOS and Android. So right now I'm using an Android phone, and once you open it, so basically depending on the phone that you're using, you just gonna go to either App Store or Google Play and you're gonna get the application. Once you have it, just log in and open it. It's gonna look like this. So as you can see, you have three options. Basically, the first one is to use it as a VTuber, second one is to use it as just a screen recorder, and the third one is gonna be to use it as a camera, of course, to be able to live stream. Now for today, we're gonna be live streaming to YouTube, and we're gonna be using the camera feature. Now when you go on the top here, as you can see, you have this little circle. When you click to it, basically it's gonna give you the options to switch between the cameras depending on how many cameras you have on your phone. And right now, of course, I'm using the front facing camera. You have these three dots menu here where you actually have more settings. You can choose if you want to use the microphone on your phone. You can mute the microphone, you can unmute it. You also have the camera that is on by default. You can go full screen if you want. You can flip the front facing camera depending on your settings, depending on how you have it mounted. You can save the video after streaming on your camera, on your phone's memory if you want that. So many cool stuff here. You even have the pro features that will allow you to kind of give you more controls over your camera. We're not gonna go through that, of course, because we're just gonna go focus on actually this tab right here, which is if I swipe here, you can see that this is what they call kind of like my studio. This is where you're gonna set up all the scenes that you need if you were using OBS or something like that. And you can see you have media, you have playlists, you have text, you have widgets. Okay, we're gonna go to that in a minute. And if I scroll again, this is the kind of live studio where you see everything that's live with few controls, and then you have what they call video only mode. This is gonna show you like a clean feed that people are actually watching on your stream. So we're not gonna take more time on that. We're actually gonna go ahead and set up our scenes. So the very first scene that we're going to set up is gonna be, obviously, because we already have our camera and we have our microphone built into the phone already ready. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna scroll to my studio, and we're gonna actually start with starting soon screen. So for the starting soon, we're actually gonna go here, just click anywhere here on text, and then instead of going to title, we're gonna go to screensaver. And as you can see, we have different screensavers that we can actually use. As you can see, we have thanks for watching, which is gonna be the one we put at the end. We have be right back, we have coming soon, we go to timer, social, caption, sticker. So these are gonna be some of the elements we're gonna be using, but usually we actually have one here on the screensaver. We have a little more, so it looks like they took it from here. However, we can actually choose any of these, and then what we can do is we can actually go ahead and change the text. Instead of being thanks for watching, we're gonna go ahead and add starting soon or stream starting soon, whatever you want. So I can go ahead and actually type in starting soon. Just want to make sure it looks good, so we can use something like this. Just make sure the spelling is good, and then as you can see, this looks good. Once you're done, all you gotta do is just gonna go ahead and click done. As you can see, we have our starting soon scene. What you gotta do, usually you just click on it and boom, it's gonna show up just like this. And whenever you're done, you can click back to your camera and it's gonna take off. So that's that. Again, we're gonna go back to our studio, and then we're gonna create our second scene, which is gonna be our countdown. Now usually it's either use starting soon or a countdown. I don't believe you can use both, but if you need to use a countdown, what you would need to do is you're gonna go to text, go to clock, and as you can see, we have two timer styles. We can actually maybe choose this one right here, and if I click to it, you have an option to actually set up how much time you want your timer to have. So for this one, I can actually set it up to 20 seconds. Now, if you do, most people do like 5 minutes. So let's say 5 minutes, but we're not gonna sit here and wait for 5 minutes. And seconds, we're just gonna keep it as 0. So once you're done, you can simply click back. And as you can see, our timer is all set for 5 minutes. So I can hit done and we're gonna have it ready. Okay, now it's now full screen. You're probably gonna need something in the background. Some people will just have like a picture of the camera of them talking in the background. Again, this is gonna depend on how you want to design your show. You can also take the other timers that are kind of big and then you can combine it with something else on screen. So next thing, we're gonna go ahead and create a lower third. You already have one already created, but I'm gonna go again to text. So we're gonna scroll and go to caption, and then once you get to caption, you're gonna choose which one actually looks good. For me, I like this one right here. I actually like the first one. Again, you're gonna go with the one that looks good to you. Like this one, I think it's kind of good. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and actually double click here. And then let's say Sam, we're gonna change that. And then underneath, we're gonna change that to live production tips. That's just an example. And then we can position it. As you can see, you can change the size. If I use this little fader here, you can make it big or small, and you also want to move it. You can touch to it, tap to it, and kind of move it somewhere you want to be on screen. Once you're done, you just want to make sure you hit done. And the next thing, we're gonna go to chat on screen. So now to add the chat widget, we're gonna go to widget here, and then we're gonna go to Prism chat widget. From here, they're gonna give you different styles here. You can choose person like style number 4, but again, any style really looks good, so you can go ahead and choose any. In my opinion, you don't have to customize it. Again, you have so many ways to customize it, but you know, the basic one just looks good. And then the next thing that we need to do is we can create ending soon screen. Okay, so again, you can go to text here, and then we can go to screensaver, and then we can do something like thanks for watching. Works well. This will work perfectly at the end of your live stream. Okay, again, you don't have to do anything here. Once you're done, you hit done and you're good to go. Another thing is we gonna make sure we add some music. Now for the music, you can go to media and go to music, and as you can see, they have a lot of music available. You can actually go ahead and choose the first one, but again, you can go through all the list and everything. You have different genres. You can have action, you can have beat drop, you can have retro, seasonal, so many genres here you can choose from. But again, we're gonna go with this one. You know, again, they even give you like some timing, so if you want the full track or if you want like just 60 seconds, just go ahead and just do 6 seconds and then hit add. Right now it's playing on my phone. I believe that's pretty much it. That should be enough for all the scenes that we need to create. So now the next thing is we're gonna go back to our live setup, and we're gonna go ahead and set up a live stream on YouTube. Now before we do that, we can actually go back to studio and choose the first scene that we want, which is starting soon kind of scene, so when we go live, people can see that. Also, another thing is if you want to add some music, you can also go ahead and choose the music right now, so people, when they watch, they can actually listen to the music. So right now I have the music available. If I want to play it, I can actually go ahead and play it, no problem. So as you can see, the music is playing in the background, and we have starting soon scene ready. And of course, you want to make sure you reduce the volume. And another thing I wanted to add is gonna be our countdown timer. So I can actually go ahead and click to it. As you can see, I can position it somewhere here. So let me click to it and move it somewhere here. And then I can hit start. Again, you can hit start whenever you're ready, all right? If you want to see a clean feed, you can actually go to video only. And as you can see, this is what it's gonna look like. So we have it starting soon kind of going on, and you have our countdown timer, and our music, of course, should be playing, no problem. Again, the music is 60 seconds, so after 60 seconds, it's gonna stop. However, you can go back to kind of this studio view, and you have your music again. And then what you can do is you can play it, or you kind of have to have a longer music. The next thing we're gonna do, of course, we're gonna go to this kind of movie icon here, and then we're gonna set up our live stream, because now we are ready to go live. So for now, as you can see, you can go live to multiple platforms, but for now, we're gonna go live to YouTube. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and choose YouTube. YouTube. It's gonna ask you to connect to YouTube to be able to live stream. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually connect to my YouTube account, and of course it's gonna ask you to log in into your Gmail account that's actually associated to your YouTube account to be able to connect your YouTube account. So you're gonna go ahead and enter your email address, and follow the instructions on screen, and of course be able to connect. So basically all you gotta do, just follow instructions or the prompts, just click continue, and then you want to make sure you hit allow to allow Prism Live to connect to your YouTube account. That's the YouTube account connected to the Gmail account that you're trying to log into, right? So once you're done everything, it's gonna look like this. So as you can see, I have my channel, which is a production testing. This is my testing channel, and I actually have a live stream kind of ready to go. So Prism Live is going to kind of create an event for you. Now if you want to optimize, you can actually create an event back in YouTube Studio using a computer, add the thumbnail, and do all the good stuff. And actually kind of when you log into the YouTube account through Prism Live, you're gonna be able to see that event you have created before, which is actually the way that I recommend the most. However, if you're streaming from your mobile phone, you probably don't have access to the computer. So if you didn't have time to schedule it, you could actually go ahead and just do it this way. Maybe no thumbnail, just want to go live just like that. So just like that. So either way, it's gonna work, no problem. As you can see now, what we can do, we can actually go ahead and choose if we want to kind of choose the resolution that we want to stream into. For the settings, you want to make sure you choose 1080p because that's the best. Video quality says adaptive. So again, if you're streaming from your phone and you're using maybe Wi-Fi or cellular, adaptive is just going to try to adapt it depending on the bandwidth you have available. Bitrate, you can try to, depending if you're streaming on YouTube and you have enough bandwidth, try 10,000 kbps is actually good, but for YouTube you probably want to do 4,000. Personally, I would go with, because I have good internet connection, I'm probably gonna go with 6,000. I should be able to pull it off, no problem. But again, depending on what you're using and the internet bandwidth you have available, you probably want to do between 4 and 6, because again, we're streaming on mobile, right? But everything else you can leave it the way it is. You can use 30 frames per second, keyframe interval, keep it at 2 seconds. That's why YouTube loves, Facebook as well. And once you're done, you can actually click anywhere here, and we are kind of good to go. So we got few things that we can actually change here in terms of how we're creating our event. If you click here, you can actually schedule an event. You don't have to go live right away, but you can also, if you go to my channel here, it shows your channel and shows the name of the channel, which is good. And another thing is, if you click anywhere on the stream, it's gonna show you all the stuff that you actually need. So basically, like if I click here, you can see that it's gonna actually ask you to change the title. The default title is gonna be "This stream is created with Prism Live Studio." You want to make sure you change that, because otherwise it's gonna look a little weird. So we can go ahead and actually call it testing. This is the description, sorry, not the title. Hit save, and then the title is just gonna put live streaming of live production tips, the name of your channel. This one I can actually change it to live streaming with Prism. That should look good. And then this is our description, and then this is our schedule, and then I can scroll down, and then it says if I want to make it public. Of course, you want to make sure you make it public. Now, is it made for kids? Usually you want to make sure you actually toggle this. You check that it's not made for kids most of the time, because if you're streaming content for kids, then you want to toggle made for kids. And then category, you want to make sure you choose if it's film, animation, if it's music. Go ahead and choose a category that applies to your stream. For me, I'll just make sure it's people and blogs. And you can actually keep scrolling and go to enable DVR. You can leave it the way it is, and standard for license. Stream latency, you can leave it at low latency. Everything else you can leave it the way it is. It looks good. If you want to add things like thumbnails and other stuff, you would have to do it back in the back end of YouTube. So this is what it looks like. Again, if you want me to show you how to do that, then make sure you leave a comment down below, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. Once we are done, as you can see, everything is good. We have streaming, our starting soon scene, and we have our music, because we only have 60 seconds. So once we are ready to go live, or what you gotta do, timer has ended, but you can also go back here and add our timer, and everything looks good now. Our music is playing, so we can go ahead and actually hit live, this little live button, and we're gonna be able to go live, no problem. So it's gonna count down, and then boom. So now we are live. As you can can see on our phone, our music is playing and you have this screen that says starting soon. Oh, our timer. I don't know what happened to our timer, but we can go ahead and actually add our timer. Boom. And then we can start it. Yeah. So when you add it, you want to make sure you start it, because if you don't start it, it's going to disappear. So as you can see, we have a timer, we have a starting soon screen, and our, we can actually go to the clean feed here. And as we have our music playing, we have to replay it because it's only 60 seconds. So now, of course, once we are ready, oh, by the way, you can loop the music. So if you don't want to keep restarting it, you can just loop it, which is awesome. So once you're ready, as you can see, this is the first screen people are going to see. I can go in my back end of YouTube just to show you what people are seeing. So this is the back end of my YouTube channel. As you can see, the stream is there. Again, all the titles and everything that we put there. You can even edit it if you wanted to, again, but I'm assuming if you're streaming from your phone, you don't have access to the computer. So these are things that you can do before, maybe schedule it before you go live. And as you can see, you can change the thumbnail and everything, just save it. So you wouldn't have to do that. Now, if you don't have access, you can do it if you don't have access to the computer. But if I click to this link and I can just paste in here just to show you the live stream, how it's actually doing on YouTube. So as you can see, the stream is going on, no problem. And we have audio, and then we have a countdown timer is going. Again, you can even upload your own media, so you can upload your own countdown timers and stuff like that from your phone, your pictures, anything you want. And then as you can see, you have control over all the elements. Again, personally, I would say before you do this, you probably need to kind of practice and get familiar with the software. But anytime you can actually pause the countdown timer, I can take it off the screen, and even the starting soon graphics, I can go ahead and say the music. If I want to stop it, I can mute it. I can decrease the volume here, and I can even like stop the looping, or I could just pause it just like that. And then I can also end the start streaming countdown timer. And if I go here, I can actually turn on my camera, and then boom, I'm gonna be able to go live and start talking to people. So you need to kind of practice this kind of things before transitioning from one scene to another, just to be able to have a smooth transition. But as of right now, as you can see, I have everything now. This is what people are seeing on YouTube. If I show you on YouTube right now, they should be seeing my image. As you can see now, it's my image live streaming, no problem. And we have a signal that's in 1080p, which is awesome. Of course, I'm using my front facing camera, which doesn't look that wow, but again, depending on the phone you use, if it has a great camera, of course your image is gonna look great. So the next thing we need to do, actually, we can do the lower thirds, because we did not really try the lower thirds. So if you want to say you start talking and you want to show your lower third, you can actually go ahead and choose the SAM live production tips and tools lower third. And as you can see, it's gonna show up here. And of course, when you set it up, you want to make sure you put it in the right angle. And as you can see now, it shows up well, no problem. It's gonna show up on the screen. Hey, this is SAM live production tips and tools, and you can actually, it's going to show up for a few seconds and it's going to hide, no problem. Another thing is, again, if you want to show it again, you can go back here, and then I can actually click on it, and as you can see now, it's gonna show up in the right position, and it's gonna show up as SAM live production tips. So it's a nice lower third that you can actually show on the stream. And again, everything is happening on your phone. Another thing is we also have our scrolling text. So if you want to have something you want to announce, or you want to show your email or something, again, at first it's going to show up here, which is not cool. But again, we can actually click to it and position it somewhere here. And then as soon as you're done, you can just leave it the way it is. And then it's just going to scroll, as you can see, it says this is a test. This could be your email address. It could be an announcement you want to make. Be anything that you want to show on the stream, and it's gonna show up here. As you can see, if you want to see a clean feed, always you can scroll here, and it's gonna show you what people are actually seeing on the stream. And again, you have few things here you can actually play with. You have this effect thing, you can actually play with this, and personally I'm not a big fan of this stuff, but some people like it. Maybe it's like happy birthday kind of effect you can actually try. You have this little cookie effect. Some effects don't actually work in 1080p, so depends on which resolution they're using. Some of these effects may not work. You can also have beauty effect that you can actually apply to your face, and it's going to actually enhance your face or your looks. You can also have the chat. So you have the chat here, enter chat, so you can actually say hello, and then as you send the chat, it's gonna show up on the stream, no problem. So I'm just gonna go ahead and see if the chat is there. And also we're gonna go ahead and actually, in fact, in a few minutes I'm gonna show you how to show the chat thing. You have this pencil where you can actually make some changes on the actual kind of metadata of the stream, and you have this share button. Basically, if you want to share the link of the stream, you can actually click to this and it's gonna give you a link and you can send it to yourself. Next up, we can actually go back to the studio. We can go back to the studio here and turn off our that graphic that's actually showing right now. And another thing we can do is we can turn off our music even if it's paused. Maybe you don't want it to stay in kind of on, so we can turn it off as well. And the next thing we're going to show is gonna be our chat. So if you want to show a chat kind of coming in, you can actually tap to it, and right now there's no chat coming in. But what you need to do is we're gonna go to our YouTube channel and we're gonna send in some chat. Say hello, how are you? So we have a chat coming in right now, and if I show you on the screen right now, you can see that the chat is coming in, no problem. So again, you can take it showing twice because I have a preview on, but this is what people are going to see on the stream. You can put it anywhere you want, position it anywhere you want on the screen, and as people send in messages, they are going to actually show up here, which is awesome. This is everything's happening on your phone, guys, which is really cool. So the last thing, of course, as soon as you're done, they say if you don't need to be showing the chat, you can actually go ahead. They say I'm gonna go again. When you live, people, you can still see the chat coming in, but people on the live stream are not seeing the chat. Now if you want the people on the live stream to see the chat, that's where you add the chat widget. Just want to make sure you guys understand, because you're seeing two chats right now happening, which is a little weird. But again, you can go to the clean feed. This is what people see on the stream. So the next thing, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the chat, and the last thing we have is we can actually go back to our music and we can go ahead and add our thanks for watching graphics. And it's gonna take off everything, and of course, because our music was paused, I can go ahead and actually make sure it's playing, and people are going to be seeing thanks for watching screen with the music playing. So this is the end of the stream. So as you can see, guys, we were able to run the entire stream as if we were using OBS or any other powerful streaming software, but the only difference, we were actually using our phone, and of course with this amazing application called Prism Live, and you have all the controls. This is amazing, right? So again, as soon as you're done, what you gotta do is you're just gonna go ahead and hit this end stream, and Prism Live is gonna ask you if you wanna end the live stream on YouTube. Just to confirm, you wanna make sure you hit OK, and it's gonna ask you if you wanna end the YouTube live sessions. Basically, it's the entire event. You can actually, if you hit keep, it's going to cut the stream, but if you wanna go back live, you can stream to the same link or to the same event. However, if you hit end, the next time you go live, you're gonna have to create a different stream or a different event. So in our case, we're just gonna go ahead and click end, and it's gonna end our live stream. However, this may look super complicated, or maybe you don't need to stream everything from your phone. If you just want to use your phone as a camera and be able to use something like OBS as just the software, because again, doing everything on the phone is not that easy. So using OBS on a bigger screen is gonna be more easier if you have access to it. That's why in my next video, I'm gonna show you step by step how to use your phone as a webcam, so you don't have to invest in a camera and be able to actually use that phone with OBS and do everything that we just did. Obviously, it's gonna be a little easier because the screen is bigger. OBS is gonna give you more options compared to what you get on your phone. So the video is gonna be linked right here, so make sure you check it out, and I will see you there, guys. Take care.